Hi, this is Sean McCracken, your OC Realtor, bringing you the California dream of eco, sun, and fun. One of the great things about living in Laguna Beach is you just meet some real interesting people. And I'm going to introduce you here to Steve Dolle, who has his own company called Dolle Communications. Is that correct?
Correct.
And Steve has a very, very interesting background. I know this is hard to hear us, but you want to hear this. He's a neurosurgeon by training. Neuroscientist, I'm sorry. And then he got into a communication company using that neuroscientist information. But he has gone back to his roots, back to his passion, and he's into drumming. And you have to hear what this is all about and how, and where his roots are and what he's doing now and where he's going.
All right, thank you, Sean. I'll try to summarize this in as many few words as I can in a few minutes. Like I said, when I was growing up as a teenager, I was kind of a hippie. We all moved along from that. I had a corporate job. Everything was going fine until I had a brain injury in 1992. And that caused me to have to pursue other areas of science and health to try to account for some of my deficiencies. And one of those was in music, and I started using music as music therapy. So in the process of doing that, I realized when I started playing these world percussion instruments about 6 years ago, I realized I was using a different part of my brain and I didn't struggle to remember like I would guitar or piano or vocals. So I started applying my neuroscience research to this area, and I came up with some amazing discoveries. So sometimes I explain what I'm doing today with drumming is I'm applying 21st century scientific principles to centuries-old practices that our ancestors did. These drums, these congas and these djembes and these world percussion instruments were pioneered by our ancestors before they could really speak. Many of them were the initial instruments before humans were speaking.
Right.
So they've been there for centuries, thousands of years.
We talked about it before where like Bush people, when you go back to that, even to this day, the Bush people and people in Africa jump up and down. They have a cadence, they bang the drum, and it's gone into our African American music. It goes into our music to this very day.
Well, it's in our language. We actually use rhythm. As an infant, we use rhythm for communication. Like an infant in a crib is already communicating with you by mirroring what you do. And then once they start to crawl, walk around, they have to learn the rhythm of movement.
Right.
So rhythm is used again in our primal existence for those two things: communication and movement.
Us Irish guys didn't get much rhythm on that part.
Well, actually, we did, but we're a little farther removed. Once the humans started relying on verbal communication, we weren't as adept now at our animal primal communication in the rhythmic world. But in the last 6 years, since I've been real involved in the drumming, when I play a lot, I find that I understand foreign languages. People can be speaking foreign languages. I pioneered some things for rhythm and movement. I'm doing a workshop next week, drumming with horses. And so there are particular rhythms that represent movement, communications. Probably one of the most well-known patterns of sound was used in the movie Jaws, where the pattern went donna, 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 donna. As the sound got closer together and louder, you knew it was coming at you.
Wow.
If you're out in the wild, and some big loud sound is coming at you, as it gets louder,
right,
you know it's bad.
Right, yeah.
As it gets closer together, if there's a pattern, as it gets closer together, you know it's bad.
Yeah.
So
we've actually used Steve's, because he has like, how many would you say, 6 or 10 people that...
the other night I facilitated about 150 people.
And one of the things he does is, and this is for you people new to Laguna, is you want to join Steve and his group on the full moon night down at Aliso Beach. And he gets 100 or so people, and they just go at it, and it just will make your hair rise on the top of your head. And part of Transition Laguna, we've used them at different events and marching through town and stuff like that, and nothing will get you the recognition of using Steve's group than anything else you could do. I mean, you could scream and do everything else, but the pounding of the drums will bring them in, man.
And the practical purposes that I use this for today is in corporate team building. I I use it for sports team building. I have applications for football and basketball training, because sports are all about rhythmic movements and syncopation.
Right.
So the more you play these instruments, it teaches you about timing.
Right.
And timing is
everything.
Is everything.
Yeah.
And then in our communication, in our nonverbal skills, it's about being attentive and about being accurate with your expressions.
Right.
So when you do a lot of this, it teaches you to communicate. I'm working with some people with spinal cord injury, and I'm interested in working with people with hearing disorders. Right now, people with hearing disorders primarily use lip reading to communicate with people in the general public. If they started doing more drumming, they would understand more of the body language and be able to express and decipher patterns from other people as we speak with our bodies.
So let's wrap this up, Steve. One of the things you mentioned is you're also getting into motivational speaking. Is that true?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I actually started doing the motivational speaking about 3 or 4 years ago. Again, my brain injury is 1992. I've had 7 brain surgeries, and I directed 3 of those.
Holy smokes!
I'm a neuroscientist. I've had a startup company. I've been in Washington.
Yeah.
I'm an advocate, and so my expertise initially was how I learned to practice law, how I became an expert in neurosciences, and did things in Washington to overcome the tough things that I got dealt with. And then people always want to know, how did I do it? Well, it's about never giving up. It's about finding your strengths and working on those strengths to overcome your weaknesses, and just building on those successes. And then so I became an expert in law and then technology and areas of healthcare and neurosciences. And then I just parlayed that into the drumming, and I feel like, I guess, a bit of a pioneer.
Yeah. So, Steve, how can they contact you if they wanted to contact you?
My website is dollecommunications.com. It's DOLLE, communications with an S. And I work out of Newport Beach.
How about your phone number?
And my phone number is area code 949-642-4592.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Steve. That was great. Good
Pleasure.
job.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.